and a warm welcome to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM. I'm Louise Kaunisela. Thank you for your good company. The biggest three-day athletic event, the Coca-Cola Games, has begun, where thousands of teenagers gather in the thousands at the ANZ Stadium in Laucala Bay to cheer on their respective schools. So our guest today is from the Fiji Police Force Academy, and he is the head of the school community policing, Mr. Emosi Ulwila Kemba. Welcome to the program.
Luis, and I would like to also welcome the listeners and the viewers this afternoon. Also, we wish all the participating schools the best of luck in this three-day event.
Thank you very much. Now, during this time, sometimes students can get caught up in the moment with all the excitement and competition. So what common issues does the police have to deal with concerning our youth during the Coca-Cola Games?
Thank you, Luis. The issues are always the same. Always the same. It's just the escalation in it happening. That is the concern now. Now, some of the issues that we normally experience at this time is behaviors, indecent behaviors that borders and even conflicts the sexual offenses in the Crimes Act.
So there could
vandalism.
Be something like rape, maybe, or
it's like indecent assault, because when we are in a crowd cheering,
right.
There are some people that normally does things that according to law is an offense, and those are indecent behaviors.
Okay, so you've had people report on this? I mean, students, or do they just don't take any notice of it?
Yeah, in the past, that those are some of the reports that come in. Those are some of the reports, and other issues like vandalism, rowdiness, school brawls, school rivalry that results in school brawls. Either it happens there or it happens out of the stadium. We have theft, and also some of the bullying that happens there, and also on in cyberbullying, where people make comments or post about other people.
So you could say this is pretty different from maybe 10 years back. I mean, it's a different thing to deal with for police.
Yeah, because of the change in the landscape. Now we have technology, so it brings an addition into the issues that normally happens. And also some of the trends that we find is that sometimes parents come up with raising concerns about the children not returning home on time. So these are some of the issues that come in. Vandalism on buses, and also where they sit. They normally write things. And even littering, these are some of the things that we don't normally take notice of. So when we look at littering and vandalism and rowdiness, if we look back, it links back to what are the values, and how do children identify themselves, what do they identify themselves to when they are coming to such events. And it also raises the question about this normally happens, what we can do about it. It's not just about police ensuring that nothing like this happens, but it's about maybe going back to the homes, to the communities, what they contributed into the lives of these children, so that when they come out, it assists in reducing these behaviors.
So this is what you're actually saying is some of the things that we can do about these issues that you've just raised.
Yeah, because one of the things, Luis, when we go to the community awareness or talent sessions or interactive programs, these are some of the issues that come up that people are only talking about the problem, and yet there's less talk about solutions and a way forward. And when we look at all these issues like littering, and also like vandalism and thefts, maybe the communities or societies or the families that they come from, maybe they need to be assisted to try and help in changing the behaviors. So when I'm talking about assisted, maybe there needs to be like training or awareness that become targeted on them as handlers for children, to help them with adjusting to the changes that we are going through today.
Okay, thank you very much. That's pretty interesting. But what scares me are the school brawls. How do police deal with school brawls?
Police right now, with our, this becomes an operation period. This becomes an operation period because also we are also focusing on the Easter weekend. It's going to be a long weekend, and also these events, and there are other events that will be happening. So when it becomes an operation, then full police participation happens. There is the involvement of our leadership from the commissioner down, and the many manpowers that we can from those who are on the road doing the traffic duties, and the various units and departments that are utilized. We have the operation, the uniform brands that are visible on the ground. There are people that are deployed in the city, and then we also have other units like those who are not in uniform, with the CID and the intelligence. They are also there with the crowd. This is in our effort to try and curb, reduce, prevent things from happening or escalating. But these are some of the things that is expected, and we cannot be in every place at the same time. So we would also urge and welcome the participation of parents, the involvement of parents in trying to assist us in ensuring that every event becomes an incident-free one, or we reduce the risk of things happening. But when it happens, we'll always take the course of the law. The law will always be followed with regards to how you're going to deal with it.
Yes, so how do you deal with it? I mean, you have to find out properly, the investigation, I suppose you have to do. But right at that moment, obviously, you will separate whoever is fighting or involved in a school brawl.
Yeah, the normal thing is that it has to be stopped.
Yes.
And then we will deal with it according to the incident and whatever has happened. And we'll deal with it according to law.
Okay, so just looking maybe at some examples in the past, have police dealt with quite a bit of school brawls, or have there been any students that have been injured quite badly?
Yeah, that is general knowledge. From the time when we were in school till today, that has always been the case. But we are thankful that we see like last year there wasn't really that much.
Well, that's good, but we will have to come back shortly on that, on Speak Your Mind, Gold FM, only the classic hits. Do stay with us. We'll be back soon. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind. On Gold FM, only the classic hits. We've got from the Fiji Police Academy, and this is the head of school community policing, Mr. Emosi Uluila Kemba. We were talking about school brawls, okay? So if police do their investigation and they find out who was the main culprit, what happens then?
According to law, if it's a juvenile, we'll deal with it according to the Juvenile Act, and the case will end up in the juvenile court. But like I said, there are procedures that we are going to follow according to the incident and the issues that happen. But what we are trying to do right now is to increase our visibility, and also before the games, we have been encouraging the aggressive community policing approach in schools to try and discourage these behaviors. And like I was saying, and it requires the participation of parents association, of all scholars association, of the teachers, Ministry of Education, because if the old scholars and the parents, while they are passionate about their children, at the same time they should discourage the type of emotions that can lead or escalate into violent behaviors, because we are trying to move away from that violent mindset. And trying to bring about a mindset of competition and the two spirits of sport.
Exactly, good sportsmanship.
That's, so we do not want to, we try to ensure that does not happen, it comes to that point. So we are working hard right now, and I'm thankful that other government agencies, they have also realized the need for us not to work in isolation, but to work in hand in hand, and create that network which is why you will see that there is a program. It's a holistic approach or a one-stop shop approach where all the government agencies will be involved. And likewise, if the old scholars, the parents association are listening, we look forward to their participation in supporting us in trying to ensure that no one is harmed and our children enjoy a 3-day event free of violence but full of fun and enjoyment, and also in the spirit of sportsmanship.
Yes, that's right. So how will police ensure the safety, apart from the students, old scholars and parents at the National Stadium? Because the games, of course, has started today.
If you look around right now, you'll see that police engagement and participation in every area will be in full. It will be a full participation. We will have policemen on the road in every corner of the streets, and also when you come to the games venue, you will expect to see us there in numbers. They are not only in uniform, but also those that are not in uniform. We have all our various units. We'll be using our technology, our comms, in trying to maximize our ability to be able to be in touch, so that we can be able to ensure that when there is a thing that we believe could lead to something that we do not want, then the approach will always be proactive. Will always be proactive, and there will be also police presence in the ground. And I believe the games organizers, they have also come to a point this far that they also have their systems in place that could assist in ensuring that nothing happens. So every unit of the organization is involved in this event.
So that's really good. Visibility, as you've said. So
From the stadium till after the games, even after the games, we expect the city to be very full with our students. So there will also be teams that will be deployed in the evening, right till the morning, because we are in a special zone where we close at 5 in the morning. So that is what the organization is focusing on in this next 3 or 4 days. Then we'll be shifting on our focus to the Easter, when people will be moving around, coming from the villages, maybe to the towns. Some of the churches will be holding their conferences or some of their programs, youth programs. So these are all the activities that we will be trying to ensure or to look after in the next 3 weeks.
So obviously the police are well prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's great. So with drug cases on the rise, how will officers ensure that the students are not taken advantage of, or students getting access to drugs? I mean, we've even got hard drugs that young people are taking these days. Is that right, Emosi?
It's there in the news that it is in the country now, so we cannot deny the fact that it exists. And I know the community know better than us where it is, where they have black markets or maybe places where they're producing it. And like I always say, that drugs is an offense against society or community, because when it affects one life, then every people whose life are hooked to that life become involved. Then we divert a future that we were expecting of someone, because the person is indulging in it, and it's against the law. So since we are mandated by law according to Section 5 of the Police Act, we see that everything that is not against, that is contradictory to the law, we have to ensure that that it does not that section of the law is not contradicted. With regards to drugs, we have our drugs unit and also intelligence. There are people that are under our radar that are known or have been under observation. So these are the people that have been observed, and if them or some of their networks are found around the vicinity, according to our powers, we can always there will always be snap searches on people just to ensure that. And also,
so when you say snap searches, are police allowed to do that? Snap searches.
We can do searches on people, just to ensure
on
that
suspicion.
On suspicion,
okay,
to ensure that the person is free. And also we have our dog they can always we can
Sniff-
always
sniff
euthanize
out
them
yeah.
to sniff drugs. We have our drug detectors.
So you got
But
our canines. I love the
yeah,
canines. So where did you get the canines from? In Suva, or you bought some from the West as
no,
well for
we've
this?
got our canine headquarters here in Nassau.
Okay, so they've
Yeah,
trained
but
to sniff drugs.
yeah, but all this will not be done in such a way that it becomes a hindrance
Okay, the
to the
atmosphere, the fun
activity.
atmosphere, yes.
So our approach will be targeted once. So we cannot assure people that it's going to be the only thing that we can assure them that we will be on the lookout. Also ensure that it becomes a drug-free event.
Well, thank you very much for that, Emosi, and do stay with us. We'll have more for you on Speak Your Mind. This is Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. Welcome back, and we've got from the Fiji Police Academy, the head of school community policing, Mr. Emosi Uluilakemba, and where we were discussing last was about, how police are doing a really good job in making sure that everything is under control with our young ones, as well as the old scholars and, of course, everybody else involved with the Coca-Cola Games. Now, we spoke about the drugs, and it was interesting that you said that, you don't want to spoil the atmosphere. You'll do it subtly. You've got your dogs there, the police presence. But last year, did you catch any students with drugs on them, like with the dogs? Did you manage to get any at all?
Yeah, there were some issues on drugs that was floating around during the tournaments, and we must remember that the makeup of people that come into the events is not only with children, it's students, because it also becomes an opportunity for people that have something for their gain. It's an opportunity for them. There are some people that come in our midst that are coming for the purpose of stealing, picking pickpockets.
It was
theft,
that's the ideal situation, the crowd, pickpocketing, yes.
Yes, because there is one theory that was found out based on research. It was called the problem analysis triangle, or the crime triangle, and it talks about in order for crime to happen, three sides must meet.
Okay.
So you have a suitable target or a victim, and you have a motivated offender or perpetrator. And then when these two meet in a time and place of opportunity, crime happens. So, and then above this, there's another triangle that they call the control triangle. In the control triangle, we can help remove one of the sides so that it doesn't meet. So in those kind of places, we have people that can become victims, suitable targets, and also in the midst we cannot immediately identify people that are coming in as motivated to do something, but that is an opportunity where they come. It becomes a time and place of opportunity for them. So in order for us to deal with that, we have securities in the area, and also we have teachers, and we have police presence. All these people, what they do is try and manage the place, so it does not become a time and place of opportunity.
Yes.
Because now we are trying to remove the time and place of opportunity with all the place managers. We are part of that to come in, and for suitable targets of victims, the teachers and also the parents, if they are present, they become guidance in trying to ensure that nothing happens to the children. They could be there, or even maybe a young girl's friends. They could become part of a group to ensure that this does not happen to any one of them.
Yes,
They
like
become,
a protector.
Yeah. So what they do is they try to remove them from falling into from becoming a victim. Likewise for perpetrators. Everyone can participate.
Yeah, I mean, it's already in their mind.
If someone sees a person and he knows that that's not his bag, and he's like moving close to the bag, can always raise the alarm. Hey, that's his bag. Hey, that's not his bag. So everyone participates in trying to prevent that incident from turning into a crime. So according to that theory, that's one of the things that's one of the findings. They found out in order for crime to happen, these three sides must meet. So just asking the whole scholars and the teachers when some of these things happens when like there is a series of events. I mean events that they are going to participate in, and then suddenly everyone is going, and no one is really taking notice because everyone is watching. Then they really need to tighten up on that area and see that you need to stay here, and that somebody has to be tasked, somebody responsible that can be able to sit and ensure that that does not happen. It's a very sad when children participate, then when they come back they find that their mobile is missing or their money is missing. So if we can like work together in that regard,
Right.
just to try and remove one side of the crime triangle so that crime does not happen.
Thanks for the great advice, Emosi. Now, another thing I think is of concern is around these times, alcohol and, guys trying to take advantage of the young ladies. What can you say about this?
Thank you. They have corporate boxes. I think that's the only place that they allow for the companies that hire or have been given the corporate boxes. That's where they will be drinking. And maybe there are some other places, but it's not allowed in the area.
No, but what I meant was like not really at the venue of the National Stadium, but afterwards, all the fun and excitement. Hey, we meet maybe because I mean police can't be everywhere, like I said. So maybe, like you said, someone has to be responsible in the group. Maybe call police. Well, what number can they call you guys on?
Yeah, we've got a
919, is it?
Yeah, because it comes direct to our Crime Stoppers.
So what's the number again?
919.
919,
It's
yes.
very easy for them to remember. They can always call, and then these people will direct them where they need to be directed. But back to what we were discussing, like I'm saying, when it comes from the venue, then there will be a tight. There's a tight policy on that.
No
The securities
alcohol
are going to and if people are going to be found to be drinking, they are going to be removed with the alcohol. But then the spillover comes to town, when the participants, when the children and everyone moves away from the venue and come to the city, then we see the presence of people in the city is very high. So it also fills up all the nightclubs and also the drinking pubs. And if a person is under 18, and they're not supposed to be in the nightclubs, because that's against the law. According to the Liquor Act, he cannot enter any licensed premises.
So what needs to happen? The
It's
bouncers have to be really strict.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, in the crime triangle, the bouncers, they become the time and place managers.
Yes.
So the need is for the licensees. If liquor licensees, people that own liquor license or nightclubs are listening today, we would like to urge them if they can tighten up on this area to ensure that their bouncers cooperate and check ID cards.
Yeah,
Because
that's the main thing. That's the proof of age.
Because according to law, we have to check the ID cards to ensure that nobody that is under 18 enters the nightclub.
Yes, that's true.
If they enter the nightclub, then it becomes an offense. And it's not the bouncers who are going to be liable, it will be the licensee. It will be licensee entering, what do you call this, minors entering licensed premises.
And they get a big fine.
So for one kid, it's I think $200 fine, maximum. So if there are 10 kids, then that's looking at $2,000.
Okay, that's interesting, but we'll be back shortly on Speak Your Mind. Gold FM, only the classic hits. To stay with us. Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. Thank you again for your good company. I'm Louise Kaunisela, and we've got from the Police Academy, the head of school community policing, our friend Emosi Ului Lakemba. And this is a live radio talkback show, so if there's something that you want to share with us, you can call 3220906 or 3220907, or if you have a Digicel phone, 32906. We'd love to hear from you. So where we left off, very interesting, Emosi, about you urging nightclub owners and licensees to be sure that their bouncers are, doing the right thing by checking IDs, especially during the Coca-Cola games and the 2 weeks holidays, obviously.
Yes, Luis, because it's in the Liquor Act that is something that they need to do. As owner of a liquor license, you become a licensee, and as a licensee, you are bound by that law. They are bound by that law to ensure that their business does not contradict the law or infringe on the rights of children. Children, they do things according to emotions and according to what they think is good for them, but the law is there for every law is there for our protection, and because they haven't matured in their brain, brain have not developed to a level of maturity where they can make decisions that is good or not good for them. That's why the law is there to protect them. So what it does is when under 18 a person under 18 cannot enter the licensed premises, and also when they drink, then wherever they are drinking, it becomes also an offense. Supplying liquor to minors.
Yes.
Cannot supply liquor to minors.
Right.
It's according to the law.
Yes.
So we need to be aware of that. Parents and teachers need to be aware that. So our plea is to licensees, if they can please ensure that during the next this week and next week and during the holidays, for the next 3 weeks, if they can strengthen and ensure that it's enforced, so that we can show children that we mean business when we want to protect them.
Yes.
According to their rights. We
Yes.
need to protect them. One of the things to Luis now is that there is this excuse of children's right is not allowing us parents guardians to be able to teach or discipline our children. And I always say that it's not taking away your responsibility to do that. It's simply elevating the need for us to be more careful, and also at the same time to look for other alternatives that we can use to help our children, in aligning them, but then not to be comfortable in our own cocoons, but try and reach out. We have NGOs, we have some other government departments, we have professionals that can help in counseling our children, and also helping include them into programs that can help children realign, and also divert them from decisions that they can make that can be harmful for them.
Yeah, because sometimes you've got some children who, no matter what, they just rebel.
Yeah.
And another thing is with children, they're easily led as well, and you've got also the peer pressure. And but I think it's good that we see some children who are very responsible. So another thing is kids lying to their parents. They might tell their parents, okay, we're going to a friend's house, and they do something completely different. So maybe they're going to meet up with other friends. They're probably going to meet up at a park where no police around, no one's around, alcohol involved. What can you say about this?
That is why we need to be smarter than them. When I'm saying smarter than them, if they're saying they're going to a friend, let's check up on the friend's parents and see are they telling the truth. So, okay, whose responsibility will be to take them from point A to point B? And what am I, like I said, I've got 4 teenage daughters. One is actually 21, one is 19. So I am facing the same challenges.
Right.
But I don't keep quiet. And also I ensure that every evening we sit down and have a family time, because that's the quality moment you can impart to them what you think and what you want. So if we don't do that, and when we look at the, like I'm saying, exposure portals that surround a child today, then your life of our life as parents is being challenged But at the same time, it's their life too. As being a child, it's more challenging than our time, because now they have information portals that is coming by way of technology, and then they also their friends, they are also exposed to those portals, and they have so much knowledge but a flawed knowledge. So that is why we need to have family time in order for us to be able to help share something that will guide them when they face situations or point of conflict in decision making.
Yeah, because the children nowadays very smart. They can make up excuses. But I thank you for the advice, because I believe sometimes parents, we trust our children.
Yeah, trust is actually, I always tell my children, trust is the basis upon which we build our relationship. So if I buy you a mobile, I'm buying to you, giving it to you with the belief that I am going to trust you with every press of the button. So with every press of the button, that's also my press of the button. So when you do something that will be shameful, then I will also bear the shame. So this is something why I'm saying that we need to come up with solutions. And when I'm talking about solutions, we need to have targeted training, not only for children, maybe changes in curriculum that will incorporate the changes in technology today to help our children become media smart and also be social media responsible. And
Yes.
these are some of the things that we really need to make changes with.
Parents and guardians.
Parents, guidance, and professionals, and also children. Because if not, we will still face the same things that we are facing.
Okay. So what would you suggest a parent need to know to be able to monitor their children's activity on social media?
You can sit down and ask them to be friends. Friends. Or maybe your network of parents. You can always have your contacts and continue that healthy relationship where you can always talk and discuss. I'm doing that with my children and also their friends. So whenever they are going for a volleyball tournament, they are all schooling. We will always liaise, and if someone does not come, someone will always fill the gap. But at the same time, we are not denying our children their right to socialize, but we are helping them socialize in a right environment.
Thank you very much, Emosi, on Speak Your Mind. I do hope you're enjoying the company as well as the program. Stay with us. We'll be back soon. Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. Thank you for your good company. I do hope you're enjoying our interview today with the Fiji Police Academy Head of School Community Policing, Emosi Uluilakemba, who has a lot of good words of advice for everyone. Now, we'll just touch on the last segment again, the issues that the Fiji Police Force face during these types of times, Coca-Cola Games, 2 weeks holidays and all that. So we'll just highlight the issues, but the main thing is what we can do about it.
Thank you, Luis. The issues are like always the same, and it's something that we always expect, and it will continue to happen unless we begin to take steps in trying to reduce it, maybe divert it and change it into something positive or constructive. So the issues are like indecent behaviors that happen, like maybe indecent touching, indecent annoying or insult people afterwards, or actions, make gestures that offend someone's sexual modesty. So these are some of the things, maybe they call out names, and it's contradictory to the law. And we have bullying, maybe there people make posts, and start to bully someone, cyberbullying. Maybe
give an example.
Example, maybe there'll be a girl that they take a picture of, and then they will then post something, making a comment, maybe a nasty comment that points at something sexual on with regards to the person that is being posted, and whether it's true or false, it no longer becomes an issue, but the issue becomes that everyone now is reading it, and then they pass comments.
Yes, and then the person becomes the victim, and
yes.
And that person could even commit suicide. I mean, with these types of things.
These are the sequences of things. In serious cases, that comes to that.
Yeah.
And a person sees that that is the end of their life or their reputation, and they decide to take that step. But we discourage them from doing that.
Yes, they get depression, anxiety. So these are
So,
all the things that police need to deal with the
so these are
stakeholders.
some of the things that come up, and we are encouraging social media users, especially with our teenagers, with our school students. If you have something to post, just post something that you would like someone to post about you. Like do unto others what you want others to do unto you. So you just be empathetic. Be in the shoes of the person that you're going to do that to. And for rowdiness, there are people that when they are groups they become rowdy, even if they are not drinking. Okay, and there's an issue about drugs and vandalism. When talking about littering, this all points back to values. When we're talking about values, like for us, it's okay. We are brought up in a culture that has values. And one of the things that I've been to New Zealand, I've found out, and also around the communities, is that there is always this issue about children misbehaving and even youths not following the laws in the village and all this stuff. And I was speaking in Namiana village last week on Tuesday in the church, and I was telling them that you have rights and freedom, but at the same time you must understand it does not identify you. Okay? This is something that you are given with, and it's been constitutionalized, so it's against the law if someone steps or does something against your right. But it doesn't also give you the right to live recklessly and to neglect the order that is around you. You belong to a race. For example, if you're a Itu king, we are not identified by our village, but we are identified by our tribe. So you need to align yourself to this identity. Or at home, when you enter into the sitting room at home, I have drawn a chart, and I've put it in half, and I've written that this is your traditional ID. So it includes your sub-clan, Tokotoka, your clan, your Matangali, your Yabusa, your Tikina, and also on this side, your traditional affiliation. These are the relationships that you know traditionally that will enable you to be identified wherever you go. So when I'm talking about littering and vandalism, these are behaviors that indicate that people that are doing it do not have values. But no, they come from a certain community. They come from a society or a culture that has their own value that identifies them. So I believe that one of the way forward is for us to go back. I was in a village in one of the Eastern Division, and they were talking about the youths taking drugs, and they have become like an sore thumb in the village. When we sat down, the first question I asked them was, what about the youth group? They said, oh, it's Sandabutwe. It's been lying like that for a number of years. So I said, okay, what group are the ones that are becoming sore thumb to you? He said, the youths. Okay, then what are you doing for them?
What are you doing? That's the main question.
How about you look, instead of looking at their behaviors, let's respond to the problem. Okay, the problem is the behaviors are indicating to us that there is a problem. So we go deeper than the behavior and see what is the problem. Okay, we have nothing for them. So that means our village is not youth friendly, it's not child friendly. So how about we change it and see that it becomes relevant to them. So you set up your youth group, call the Ministry of Youth, and they register the youth group because they become beneficiaries. They become open to the opportunities that the Ministry of Youth has. Okay, they can undergo trainings and all this stuff. And then what you do is, the elders of the villages, how about you step back and become advisors and let the youth group run the village.
That's a great idea.
Let them participate. And likewise in our communities.
And they feel like they're doing something, they're responsible. And yes, I get what you're saying.
Most of them are from 7, they have attained that level of education because of the way the government is moving, free education, all this. So there's a lot of educated people there. So how about allow them to utilize what they have learned, their level of education, in trying to talk about what are the constructive ways. If you bring them in, then suddenly with the idea, bring your cram board, bring your guitar, whatever, and you come and you organize all this stuff.
Make it fun.
Yeah, make it fun. And while they are there into it, then you call them, okay, Now, you divide into your Matangalis.
Mm.
So this Matangali might be the herald or the spokesperson. This Matangali might be the Mbati. And you'll see some of these children, youths who are involved in those not so good activity are part of this Matangali. And then you tell them, okay, people talk about what is your role in a village. So whenever you go, wherever you go, you need to identify yourself. So this is one way of convicting them, and then let them make the decision as to how they will deal with this kind of issues. And allow them to go with the flow, and we support them. This is just an idea of what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that is a great idea because don't you think that when our youngsters get bored, that's when they start doing, silly things. But we have unfortunately come to an end. Just very quickly, a very brief message to children, parents, and guardians alike during this period, which is the Coca-Cola Games, as well as looking forward to the 2 weeks holiday.
Thank you, Luis. The key word, I believe, is dialogue. This is the period that we need to really be talking to each other and understanding each other so that we'll be able to communicate better and be able to understand the needs of each one and how we can come to agree, even though we disagree on certain issues.
Okay. Well, many thanks, Emosi, again, for appearing on Speak Your Mind and on our live radio talkback show. Until next time, Vinaka.
Naka, Luis.
That was Speak Your Mind on Gold FM. Until next week, thank you a lot again for your company. Nisamo Demanda.